Well, hey guys, welcome back to Love Truck Garage. Well, we're making some progress. We got our brake calipers rebuilt this week and got a lot of parts in, and I even got a flaring tool. Let's go. If you saw the last video, this is kind of where we left off. I got the firewall all painted up for the booster, and where the clutch reservoir was, I went ahead and just painted it instead of making a plate. It turns out it had a plate on the inside of the firewall. And here's the flaring tool I wound up with. It's a vintage Craftsman, and it looks like it's really never been used. It even came with a couple of tubing cutters. I couldn't beat the price. I should be able to knock out my brake lines no problem. I got this disc brake set up from a 76 Luv about 6 months ago. It's time to start getting this ready to go on. It's about time. I'm going to start off by rebuilding the brake calipers. It's a low mileage truck, but it's 48 years old now. I ordered up a couple of caliper rebuild kits from Rock Auto, and thank goodness they still have them in stock. Well, I've never rebuilt a caliper before, but I'm going to do one at a time and see how it goes. I watched a few YouTube videos and it seems like a pretty simple operation. I guess we'll see how it goes. It's a 3-piece kit which consists of a square seal, a rubber boot, and a retaining ring. I used my compressor to push the piston out, and right off the bat it didn't look too good, but it cleaned up real nice. You really don't want to see any rust or pitting in the piston. That could harm the new seal when you put it back together. I used pretty much a soft cloth and a lot of brake cleaner. Once I had the piston looking good, I started in on the housing. I used a small screwdriver and a pick to clean the groove where the seal rides. I took my time and kept working at it till it was spotless. I also used, besides the brake cleaner, some really fine steel wool to clean the bore. I just kept at it and the bore cleaned up real nice too. I pulled off the bleeder screw and got that all flushed out also. So far so good. This is coming along real nice. Look how nice that piston cleaned up. It looks brand new. And here's where I screwed up. I decided, hey, I'm going to paint my calipers while they're all apart. You know, spray paint really likes it to be at least 70 degrees when you're using it. Anything less than that is a crapshoot. Anyway, this caused us a delay. Finally dry enough to work with. Let's put this caliper back together. I still can't believe how good that piston looks. Well, the videos I watched said to use brake fluid as a lubricant while you put the caliper back together. So I lubed up the square seal and got it ready to go in. It took a couple minutes, but I got it in all right. I'd say I'm being a little extra cautious, just making sure it's in the groove just right. I was being real careful with that pick and making sure I don't nick that seal at all. There you go, feels good. Let's get that piston lubed up and try to slide that in. Now the piston doesn't really want to slide in there, and I almost think I have the wrong size seal. But I took it out and compared it to the old one, and they were the same size. So I struggled with it for a while, and then I decided to phone a friend, my good buddy Julio. He used to work in a shop, and he told me they always put a little assembly lube on the square seal. And just like that, the piston slid in just fine. Now let's slide that outer seal onto the piston and up in its groove. It was pretty much easy going from here out. And that's just me being super cautious, making sure I've got that in there just right. The metal retaining ring sits in a little groove on the outside of that rubber seal. You just get one end started and then work your way around and it'll just click right into place. I think I'm making it look harder than it really is. By the time I got to the second caliper, it was pretty easy to do. You just gotta take your time. I'm using an old spring hook to tuck it in. It's an old typewriter tool I used 40 years ago. IBM typewriters were way more complicated than brakes are. Alright, I think it's in. Now let's get this all put back together. These calipers still had the little rubber caps on the bleeder screws. I was sure glad I had that other caliper sitting there for a reference when I put this back together. I used some white lithium grease on those sliders and it went back together real easy. This was so easy, even a caveman could do it. Well, there they are, all done. I didn't film the second one, and I'll touch it up with paint before I put it on the truck. There's the part number for the caliper kit and the assembly lube that I used. I think the key to success on rebuilding the calipers is that your piston is in good shape, no rust or pitting, and you got to get everything just spotlessly clean. I'm hoping I get a lot of years of use out of these calipers. In the next video, we're going to be reworking these hubs. I'll be swapping out these solid rotors for these vented ones from a '84 Isuzu Trooper. They bolt right onto the Luv hubs and they look fantastic. And they weigh a little bit less too. A pretty nice upgrade if you ask me, and they're only 20 bucks a piece. I also ordered new inner and outer wheel bearings and new grease seals for the hubs. I did get in my Willwood adjustable proportional valve, and I'm looking forward to getting this all bolted in. And here's my caliper brackets and dust shields, and they're ready to go. It won't be long now. Well, hey guys, that's going to do it for this week. I do appreciate you watching. It's a little slow going, but we'll get there. Hang in there and please like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Don't forget t-shirts, hoodies, and trucker hats at lovetruckgarage.com.